Disclaimer. Before we continue on this video, I would just like to let you know I had a bunch of videos. I had one video from every season that I was going to put on in the background while I talked about each season. My laptop is a jerk, and it's screwing with my computer, so I can't. So unfortunately, you're going to have to look at mindless pictures for the majority of the time. So I sincerely apologize for that. But yes, so you're just going to have to deal with the frickin', you're just going to have to deal with the pictures and no visual aid besides pictures, because there was nothing that I could do. I really tried. I kept trying to fix it, and I couldn't. I know this came off as a rant, and I apologize, but I wanted to make it more interesting with just, videos in the background, but that's a video for each season, but it's just not happening. So, now that we got that out of the way, I'm really sorry. I'm sure Donnie and Justin are going to make one of their own, so hopefully theirs will be more interesting. But this is just my take on it. So anyway, here we go. Season 1, also, this is my catch-up video for Adventures in the Hills. So you don't have to go and watch all of it yourself. You can just get right in and get basically the point. It would have helped to have a visual aid of each season, kind of, but you're not getting that. So you're just going to have to deal, unfortunately. Sorry. But, yes. So, I'm going to be talking about some technical stuff. Or no, I'm not. Never mind, because I'm not doing the videos anymore, so forget about it. I'm just going to talk about the story specifically. And then we'll move on to the next, and the next, and the next. So, Season 1 of Adventures in the Hills is the Genesis Saga. And this one starts off with, this mysterious figure's name is Zenova and Equinox, and Zenova's running away from Equinox. Equinox wants a magical button that Zenova has made. Zenova has a button that he created called the Easy Button, where it grants you, like, any wish. So, basically, Zenova sends the Easy Button far away to where he can't find it, although two of our main heroes might find it. No, but anyway, so Equinox does get the better of Zenova, though, and then you never hear from these characters again for the rest of the season. So, episodes 2 to 5 are with Justin and Donnie, and Justin and Donnie are the two main protagonists of this story. When they were very young, their parents left them for mysterious reasons that even us, the creators, don't even really know why, but whatever. Mystery. So they both end up getting picked up by gang members. Somehow they both end up getting picked up by them, and they end up living in that kind of life with gang members. Now it's years later. They're both like 17 years old, and there's a clash going on between their two gangs for like territory and like money and stuff, and the police can't stop them. Donnie and Justin end up meeting for the first time. Justin gets the upper hand on Donnie, but he can't find himself to shoot him, so he lets him go. And that makes Donnie start rethinking about stuff. Then he goes on a mission with Albert, his boss, the one who found him, and he's like, yo, I need you to kill this person, and Donnie can't go through with it. And then his boss, Albert, who's kind of been like a father figure to him, just blows him away with no second thought. And it really starts making Donnie rethink, is the family that I've known my whole life really good? I mean, he knew the bad stuff they were doing, but he thought, they were doing it for good reasons. Justin was the same thing with Allison, his boss. But they go on a mission, the final mission, and they end up finding Justin ends up finding Donnie again. Donnie gets the upper hand on Justin this time, but Donnie can't bring himself to kill Justin. Albert, his boss, finds out, and he gets super pissed, and they get away. He takes an experimental drug, which is like steroids times 10, and they fight him, and they only barely manage to win. And then Donnie and Justin become really good friends, and then they just go see where the world takes them. Little did they know the epic adventures they would later have. So, yeah. That's pretty much it for Season 1. That's it in a nutshell, the Genesis Saga. I'm basically making these videos so that way you don't have to sit through and watch the whole series. But I do suggest checking out the Genesis Saga because it's only 5 episodes long. We didn't make this years later after the initial Season 1, because what happened is Justin made a Season 2 with like video games. He really disliked it, so he retconned the entire thing, made Season 1, Season 2, and the Genesis Saga made the new Season 1. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's where their adventures end in Season 1, and where the true adventures start to begin in Season 2. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for sticking around. And the next part will be, of course, I believe the Hiking Saga. I'm not sure if that's the right saga of what it's supposed to be called. But that is what we'll be watching next in the fold. So you get ready for that. This video is going to be a 2-parter. Only the first 4 seasons are in this first part. The rest of the seasons up till Season 7 will be the next part. So anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. And let's move on to the next video. I did pick random pictures for it just because, I was going to use footage, but I couldn't get it. So you're just going to have to deal. Anyway, yeah. See you later, you frickin' nerds. Adventures in the Hills, Season 2. The Hiking Saga, I believe it's called. The episode begins. Justin and Donnie are going to explore, a little bit. They end up finding this thing called the easy button. What happens after that is a mysterious figure who calls himself Equinox wants the easy button. Of course, our heroes don't really trust him, Justin and Donnie, so they kind of just say, no, you freaking nerd, we don't like you. And so they kind of, fight him. They barely hold their own, kind of the same thing, because they're not really powerful yet, so they barely hold their own. But then they wish the easy button to make him love carrots, and he ends up finding a carrot, and he's not paying attention, and they shoot him in the head. He's dead, and you never hear from Equinox again. But ever since that moment, now, in every episode afterwards, they just keep facing random, like, more powerful people as time goes on, and it's really bizarre. They just keep fighting, a bunch of one-off episodes where they fight, like, these bad guys. But then, you get to the movie, where you meet 2 really important characters, at least one for, like, the whole of the series. Her name is Lexus and Jack, or Lexus and then there's Jack. Jack is the main bad guy of the second season. He's a powerful being that used to live in hell. Not to be confused with Satan, but he used to live there. His mother is Lexus. Now the thing is, if you're watching it from a YouTube perspective, then you don't really see much of Lexus at all. Because she's not in any season besides Season 2, unfortunately. But in this actual story that we have made, she's actually a very, very important character. So yeah. Anyway, Justin and Donnie fight, Donnie gets possessed by Jack. Justin is left to fend for himself and try to be able to defeat these crazy powerful people, and he can only do so much. But in the end, he does manage to succeed, and he does stop Lexus and Jack. Jack will later become an important main character. But as of this point in time, he's just a bad guy. But yeah, so that's basically what Season 2 is. There's not much else to it than that. Because you see what happened was they initially made Season 2, which was originally Season 1, back when they were in like 4th grade. There's a lot of shaky cam, a lot of not being able to understand what the story really was, so it was very hard to understand, which is why you can just skip it. It's not that important, although I do suggest looking up the remake episode because it was for the anniversary of Adventures in the Hills, and it had Equinox, and it was basically the very first episode of Adventures in the Hills redone, but it's now season 2. But yeah, it's if you actually check my playlist, I have an Adventures in the Hills playlist on my channel. You can go check it out. I have the Genesis Saga, and then I have the very first episode, but it's a remake. But yeah, so yeah, nothing too substantial happened except that Justin and Donnie got, because like the way it is in our show, which is kind of got inspiration from Dragon Ball Z, is the more bad guys you defeat, the stronger you become. So they kept fighting stronger bad guys, and that made them get stronger and stronger. So at this point in time, you know, they're a lot stronger than normal human beings. They're not super strong or anything, but like they can't even lift so I guess, how would you put it on the power level scale if we were doing power levels? I guess if you've ever seen Dragon Ball Z, Donnie and Justin would be at about Krillin level right now. So still stronger than the average human. They'd be about at Krillin's level, pretty much. Yeah. It was a very, very shaky cam season, but it is important to the story, so it is worth mentioning in this, you know, a video. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope I'm not boring you, because like this whole thing, again, I feel so horrible, and this is the last time I'm going to mention it, and then I'm just going to continue on with story stuff. I need to mention it again because I did have stuff ready for you guys. I had videos prepared. I had it all ready, so that way every time I started talking about a new season, you'd have an episode from the season to like look at in the background. But now you have to listen to me, and I feel like that's very boring. So I'm sorry if that's the case. I hope you still watch this whole video anyway. That way you know what's going on. But yeah, also, aren't these aliens adorable? I think they're adorable. They're like little cute, like you can just grab their cheek, they're so adorable. But yes, pretty soon, when I'm done talking my ass off, we'll be moving on to Season 3, the Parody Saga, where everything's a joke. Also, not too much happens in that saga either. The most stuff that happens starts Season 4 and onwards, story-wise. But yes, anyway. I'm gonna probably go now. So, have a pleasant frickin' day, and get ready for frickin' Season 3, which I'm about to frickin' talk about. Sorry, I'm being really annoying, but I'm tired, and I'm, you know, pissed that I can't show you actual videos. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Get ready for Season 3. It's coming right next after I shut up. So, get ready, you frickin' nerds. It's about to happen. Anyway, see ya! Alright, I gotta stop that. Bye. Season 3 of Adventures in the Hills, the Parody Saga, or the Comical Saga. So this one's a lot funny, not really, I didn't really find it funny, but it's supposed to be funny. There's a lot of spoofs of other stuff and stuff that would be copyrighted, but it's a good thing it's not, because YouTube. But, so this season isn't very story-based, but it does start to get things off into track that will end up being one of the most story-based things we've ever done. But we made very important characters that will be major substantial into the rest of the series. Some as in a couple, but we get introduced to Kenny, who is, I don't think it's a spoiler to tell you this, but he was the Nova, but he made himself forget who he was. He also made himself be younger, so that way he could be younger and help protect people. And he became known as Kenny, because he himself didn't remember his real name, Nova. So he's Kenny now. We also meet Zach, who's a super important character as well. And yeah, so now we have a four-man team. A four-man team of epicness that will do everything in their power to save the world. So we've got a whole trial now. Instead of just Justin and Donnie, we've got a whole bunch of new characters, all here to help. So, originally, if you had watched, well, you probably haven't, But like back when Justin still had season 2 of like the actual season 2 of like the video games before he completely retconned that, they were in that. But since it's not there, it doesn't count. And in the story, this is the first time we meet them. So anyway, they're all heroes, and the main point of these first couple of sagas is the more random bad guys they fight, the stronger they all become. So, it's a lot of stuff that happens. We also get introduced to a very, very, very important character in this season. Although at the time in that season he was not very important. Although he did do stuff during that season. Rodaro. We meet Rodaro in this season. He does some stuff, but he's not ultimately a big problem for now. And the main bad guy in the movie of season 3 is Dr. Death. Now, it is Donnie and Justin and Kenny and Bobinson, who's also a new character that's also very important to the rest of the series that we meet in season 3. We meet Bobinson, he's like a bounty hunter that ends up helping them fight Dr. Death, but Zach would be helping, but Dr. Death did something to him, so he wasn't able to help, but Dr. Death was there trying to destroy the world. But we had Bobinson, we had Donnie, we had Justin, we had Kenny, and they all managed to defeat Dr. Death in the end. Dr. Death is probably one of the most powerful bad guys they'd ever come across yet. He was really extremely powerful, and they had no idea what to do against him. But they did manage to defeat him, and they got a huge power boost from that. Like, they are now freaking Piccolo status right now. But yeah, speaking of like the Planet Namek saga version of Piccolo. But anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much all that happens in season 3 of importance. And yeah, so this is pretty much the end of my catch-up video. This is part 1. There's going to be 3 parts. The second part is going to be season 4, season 5, and the first saga of season 6. And then the third video, which will be a lot shorter than these two, is just going to be the second saga of season 6, and then non-spoilery talks about season 7. So yeah, so it won't be that long, the third part. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. I know it was just pictures. I'm really sorry, and there's a lot of me talking. I hope it was still enjoyable for you guys. I hope you learned about our show and what it's about, and I hope you enjoy learning about it, because even though it's not the most professional thing ever made, we do take a lot of... I think we do really good. I really enjoy it. Like, if you ever had the time and you watched all the seasons, you'd see how much every season it slowly gets better and better and better, and like the camera ship and whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty much all to say, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you in part 2. So stick around, because that should be coming up. And yeah, maybe the same day as today. I don't know. Anyway, peace.